Welcome, everyone, and welcome to All in All United. We're here, as you know, to review, what do you call that, Nico? A disaster class. How much times we had to say that
No worry.
in reviewing our games? You know, after that hype we hit against RB Leipzig in the Champions League. You know, the entire fan base was on that wave. You know, the confidence was there. You know, and you would have expected as well that the team would have been riding the same wave that we as fans were riding. You know, I think even when you saw the starting lineup come out, everybody was positive about it because it's the best possible starting lineup we could have put out. I think, you know, we saw how well the 4-4-2 diamond, worked. You know, when it was able to include all the different midfielders we had that with the different skill sets. And on a good day, we know that these players, what they could produce. And then today, to come and give us that kind of display, Nico, I was really disappointed in the performance from start to finish. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, boy, I don't know. From the start, we started good night, first and foremost, good night all. We know that is our samba note. You know, we starting tonight review, but dreams from the kickoff. You know what I mean? I think we lacked the energy, even to match at least to match Arsenal energy today. I think Arsenal definitely came out wanting it more. They were more physical. They actually bullied us off the ball at every opportunity, and they got away with most of the time scotch free. You know, we weren't able to hold up the ball to build attacks, make bad passes all across the field. You know, just being rushed and bullied at home. You know, and it's sure you're really struggling at home to really get some kind of consistency going, like some kind of form going home. I don't know what's the reason, you know. But today, as you said, it was really disappointing. We really expected the team to really come out and and ride that wave that we was on. We won some top games coming into this game, which is the PSG and the Leipzig game, which to me they are better teams than Arsenal. I think that Arsenal maybe just wanted it more. You know, they smell blood now that we are struggling at home. You know, and they came out and even our formation to a point was a bit negative. I think sometimes playing the two holding midfielders, you know, and we know we talk about this a lot, but playing the two holding midfielders could be a bit negative compared to maybe play one who could do that work properly, you know, and then you could even maybe Karasa Cavani or start somebody else, you know, in the attacking third to give us what we needed now, because we really didn't have any trust in the attack today. I think we was real blunt in attack, we was poor in attack, and we didn't see Rashford making any runs. We didn't have disagree with making any runs. Pogba, you know, you're looking for that long stride from Pogba where you could set something, do something, set somebody free. Didn't see that. You know, so I think all around today we really struggled. I think the only place we was looking solid was in defense. I didn't think Arsenal would have broken us down really when they had the opportunities. I think we were the better team defensively. But overall, I think Arsenal deserved the win.
Yeah. Well, as expected, Nico, we have Junior in the comments. You know, welcome, Junior. Thanks for your comment. He said he was glad when I didn't see Mata. I think the Oli got the substitutions. I mean, I don't want to come out and criticize the starting lineup, as I said earlier, because I really do think, you know, coming off the hype of the performance that we saw with this particular formation against a high press, you know, high octane, high energy team like RB Leipzig, you know, I thought that we were probably well suited to go up against an Arsenal team, you know, because we know Arsenal is a team as well who know they're good with the in terms of the possession game, pressing well, you know, nice interplay. So I didn't expect anything less from Arsenal. But when I saw how we were able to counteract that kind of system and style with the 4-4-2 diamond, then I was very, very confident coming into the game today. You know, but at the end of the day, I think, Nico, the players just did not show up. Right? The players did not show up. I'm not going to, if I had to criticize Oli for anything today, it will be the substitutions. But in terms of the players he put out, the formation that he set up, or every player were in good moments going into the game. Everybody would have been confident, riding a nice wave. So I am still struggling to understand what happened. And I think you mentioned it, Nico, probably Arsenal wanted it more. Because normally when we go into games where we know our backs against a wall and we need to win, we tend to show that kind of performance, and the team banded together and really put together a performance. That is what Arsenal look more like today than Man United. We look like the big team, and Arsenal look like the smaller team who just come in and they really needed this result. And we see how football going lately, and Arsenal got what they wanted, albeit that we gave it to them. But you can't complain and say, well, they didn't deserve the win, because ultimately they played the better football. They pressed us in the right areas. They forced errors, and we just had no kind of response. We had no reply. They were forcing. We talked about Fred. Fred was doing so much good things today, but the things that we keep talking about before with Fred in terms of the misplaced passes, forcing the passes, bad decisions with the passes. Why you're not working on it? We saw it happen so many times again today. Your manager talked about it last press conference about Fred working on the final ball, and I didn't see any improvement with it today. I wouldn't go as far as to say he had a poor game, because I thought in terms of breaking up the play, his industry, getting back, I thought he was good. But it's these fine margins that determine and define so many things in our game, because our front players, even though they really didn't try to do nothing when they had the opportunities, we weren't giving them anything to work with.
Yeah, as I was telling you even before, we have a string of difficult games, and sometimes, I mean, that's an excuse, guys, but sometimes in between that, yes, our blip. Let me just hope that this was the blip. Let me hope that in a week against Istanbul, Başakşehir, that we put them to the sword, and then going into the weekend, that we hope that the Everton game, I think it was also a very important game, for where we are at the table, a very important game for confidence, building confidence, So I think for me personally, I know a dip would have came. I know a bad result. We'd have a bad result somewhere inside the stretch. Hoping it wasn't today. Unfortunately, it was today. But just let me hope that for the next few games, that we recover from this as we have been doing. I think we have been recovering from losses very well, most of the times on early. So let me hope that let me hope this was our blip and we move forward from this with positive results. We said that we get a victory on that Istanbul, and that will put us in a real good position in Champions League. And then Everton on the weekend, again, let we get a positive performance, an excellent result. And I think this Arsenal game, we'll put this behind our back and move on.
All right. Well, I mean, that's something you mentioned before about Arsenal playing with a very changed team from their Europa League game. We were thinking and hoping that Arsenal would have come in with a team that would have had 2 days rest versus our team that would have had like 4. But you saw Arsenal coming in with a totally different team because they were heavily rotated in the Europa League game, and we looked second best in every aspect. No, I mean, I don't want to seem negative because I know you was on a positive trend just now, right? But Everton don't have a game until next week, Saturday, when we play them, and we play midweek. So you're having a well-rested Everton team where I know James Rodriguez, who missed today, will be back in the fold. And as well, they'll have Digne, or Digne, however it's pronounced his name. He'll be coming back as well. The only player they're really missing would be Richarlison. So if we struggling like this to recover against teams who rest, then I don't want to be negative, but then we're going to next week Saturday going to be a long day, I'm gonna get some comments in here. Hey Jody, good night, bro. He's saying blessed night. I don't know what to think. But Shmed, real hot and cold, Real hot and cold. I think Nico, you were saying before we started this stream, you can't put your head on a block for this group. This group will win 10-0 tomorrow, and the day after they will come and lose 20-0. Gosh, boy, you can't rely on. We was so heavy in praise for Pogba last Wednesday, and then what happened today? He was probably the worst player on the field. Hey, Dwayne, good night, buddy. He said good night, brothers. Was very disappointed with today. Yeah, very, very. Not you alone. Nah, I think all the Man United fans were.
You know them Arsenal fans. Oh gosh. What should I be doing here about in a year? From in a year. All kind of thing. Yeah.
Simeon, welcome, man. He said, oh gosh, man, slackness. Them fellas come out and watch me. We approached this game real careless. Like we didn't want to win the game at all. We thought it was going to be automatic now. Same issue, same players. Look at Arsenal signing, shining. Yeah, every single one of them. Partey. Nico, what you thought about Partey today, boy?
I find he was real good, boy. You know, I mean, I think Partey did the job of two of our defensive midfielders. You know, and at the point I was coming with, if you look at Partey's performance today in comparison to even McTominay or Fred, who to me is still not real natural defensive midfielders, not central defensive midfielders, where Partey is a naturalized his position. You know, I mean, he would have developed in that position from whenever till now. You know, where even McTominay at one point he was a centre forward. You know, he playing centre back for Scotland. You know, and we trying to force him to be a central defensive midfielder. And then Fred, we know Fred frailties in the defensive midfield role. You know, so Partey played, to me, is a combined, like, you know, two players in one. You know, and I think he was excellent today.
But and you know, I don't know if you remember, Nico, the little discussion that we were having in the past couple of reviews. I was telling you about the kind of player that we need for our role.
Yeah.
And if we were to, I don't want to insult Thomas Partey in any way, but that was something I was saying when you merge a Matic with a McTominay, again, the physicality, right, again, the ability and the ball, you know, and the quickness. And I thought, when you looked at Partey play today, he didn't seem to be lacking anything now, you know, on the ball. He well on the ball, you know. I saw he was doing some nice little bits on the ball in terms of that kind of skill. And then too, he was reading the game very, very good. He had Pogba in the pocket, if you want to call it that. Yeah. You know, Pogba couldn't make a move, and Partey knew exactly how to do it. Pogba, because he understands his role as a defensive midfielder. And I don't understand why we're not going after players like these, you know. Yes, Simeon, so thanks for that comment. Hey, Davion, welcome. He's saying, I don't want to hear anything about Man U for 24 hours. Have a good night, guys. Fair enough. Fair enough. That Everton game will be exactly Everton coming as a wounded animal too, because they lost today.
I was saying it. I mean, today could have been our blip and we might come out shining against Everton.
But what I like about this Everton team that I'm seeing right now, and I'm hoping that they have a next off, they come next week Saturday, is that they don't lie down and die so easily.
Right.
Because first half, Southampton was leading 3-0.
That was that last game. Okay.
The game that they played today.
No, today was Newcastle.
Oh, Newcastle.
Yeah.
Who Everton play?
Everton, Newcastle.
Right, Newcastle, right.
Yeah, there was 2-0 up. I think 2-0 or something like that.
Yeah, right,
yeah, 2-0
up.
Yeah, Newcastle 2-0 up and Everton came back.
Yeah, they fought back. You know, so I mean, the desire and the drive in that team very much there. So we can't take Everton lightly, you know. So that game will definitely be a tough one. Jody's saying after the first 45 minutes, all you need to make at least 2 changes.
It felt that way. I think if we had the 5 substitutions, I think he would have done that. I think with the 3 substitutions, I think he was still trying to, hold out, because even when we started back the second half, we started a little more positive than playing the first, you know. So I think he was just hoping that he'd have gotten a reaction, which to a point he did. But I think if he had the 5 substitutions available, he'd have definitely made at least 1 at halftime.
Yeah. Davion saying if you have a hot and cold manager, it will trickle down straight to the team. But I mean, I don't know how to take that, Davian, because at the end of the day, as we were saying earlier in the review, this is the same group of fellas, right, who were all flying high in the same setup, where everybody played in positions where we think the comfortable and the most suited. And they came into a game at home. We didn't have to travel anywhere. We were still home, against Arsenal, and we did not show any kind of energy, any kind of desire to want to win this game. I don't think in the dressing room, Ollie said, well, guys, go there and express yourself. Don't bother to fight too hard because we have Istanbul to play come Wednesday. I don't think that the instructions Ollie gave them guys and them. I mean, Ollie is not the personality, and we could see it from now to stand up on the touchline and back behind players. He'll do it when necessary, at least when he sees fit. So I'm not saying that Ollie is, innocent of anything today, but I can't blame Ollie when he put out the right players, because it have nobody could tell me when that team sheet was announced that you were disappointed with that team sheet. Nobody could tell me that I accept that. Dwayne saying they really say laugh and cry. Living say it's true, and that is Man United. That is a very, very good description of Man United. Jeez. Junior saying El Neni is a beast. Prodigal son, he came back to you, boy.
I think we just make it easy for El Neni. We just made it so easy, without really having a focal point. I think the game was really easy for Arsenal midfielders.
But you think, Nico, the fact that we went with two forwards in the nature of more runners as opposed to hold up play. And let me say this, today a lot of people would have realized how important Martial is and what he does contribute to the game. I know I messaged that Nico and he didn't reply, but I small thing. You understand? But today we saw what Martial offers to this team. Because Martial is very good at holding up the ball, link up play, bringing players into the game, and as well as winning fouls in crucial areas to kind of kill the momentum of the opposing team. And we missed that clear today. Rashford not giving it that. And the two strikers that we chose today were the type that you give them the ball and they'll run on to the ball, they'll dribble, they'll try to dribble past, they'll run behind lines, and they'll shoot at goal. And we needed a player who would have been able to hold up the ball against three defenders I think Arsenal played with today. Yeah. 3 centre backs. You understand? And none of them were given a physical test from our strikers today. So I agree with the fact that probably Cavani could have got a look in, but I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. I think when even from the start of the game you realize that he was really lacking at Gabriel Greenwood, bulldozing Rashford. How much time we would have seen Rashford on the ground, and it was even a foul most times, and I think we were really bullied in that aspect of the game, and I think that would have made the game way more difficult for us, because even when you're thinking that a player would hold up the ball and let it get in midfield up to support, it wasn't happening, so that is why for a reason I was hoping that halftime that I don't know the fitness or that Cavani in, but I was really hoping that by halftime we would have gotten a difference in terms of Cavani coming on. I could have definitely see Cavani coming on. I was taking off either Fred or McTominay, honestly, by halftime. If Ollie was to make a substitution and he pulled off one of those two to bring on Cavani, I would not have been surprised, because I think we needed that focal point. It was too easy for Arsenal to bully us off the ball. We wasn't able to build our play as we would have seen, as you would have said, Martial does for the Champions League games. I think that is the more difference there. We don't have Martial in the team. That player to hold up the ball, and then bring players into the team. He has his quality, he even has a fear factor in him when he has the ball facing defenders, So I think we really missed that, and I think Ollie missed that trick in terms of bringing on Cavani earlier and playing a Cavani, Rashford, and Greenwood. And playing a Rashford more in his natural wide position, and playing Greenwood even wide also. Greenwood could come in any foot, use any foot, and So I think Ollie just missed that trick. I don't know if it's fitness or Cavani, but I think we needed that focal point. We needed that physical presence. We needed that know-how in the centre forward position that that I think Oli took too long. I know that's something he's always saying in terms of Oli substitutions. Something it takes too long to make decisions. And I think today, Cavani should have been the first one off the bench, sacrificing a midfielder. Not Bruno, right? But sacrificing a midfielder in either McTominay or Fred at that point.
But I don't disagree with you, Nico, but let me just challenge you a little bit, right? Because at the point, if we look at the game in this way, right? Look at the game in this way. The first half, the 4-4-2 diamond clearly wasn't working.
Right.
And I wouldn't blame the system in itself. I would just blame the execution of the system, right? Because we saw the system work against Leipzig, but for some reason or the other, the players didn't execute it properly today, right? I don't want to give Arsenal too much credit when our players themselves didn't really show up on the day, right? Now, when we looked at the first half, we realized the 4-4-2 diamond wasn't working because the players weren't doing what they're supposed to do. Second half, we realized that there was a change in the formation. He went back to the 4-2-3-1. Then you realize with the two deep line defensive midfielders, McTominay and Fred, they were a little more familiar with the roles and functions there, right? So they were a little bit more in control of and a little more, let's see what I'm looking for. They were composed in understanding what they needed to do. So there was a phase in the second half, when the second half had started, we started to control the game a little bit better. You know, we were making things happen. So I don't fault Oli for not making the change that you were saying at that point in time, because I was seeing where something could have possibly happened, even though we know now that nothing did happen. But at that point in time, you could have feel that, well, wait now, we're actually looking better. You know, actually moving the ball better. We winning back the ball now. We have Arsenal sitting back a little bit deeper, and they look like they want to play on the counter now, and the game was still 0-0. It's only when Pogba did a piece of nonsense, and it was already so late in the game. Then Oli now needed to say, well, hey, here what's going on. I need to make some changes. This is where I think Oli made the wrong changes. You're at home. Your record at home is not good in the Premiership right now. You need to win the game. I am saying don't take off Bruno. Do not take off Greenwood. My saying, you already brought on Matic. Matic will provide that kind of cover for your back line. Take off McTominay and take off Fred. You understand what I'm saying? And bring on Cavani, bring on Greenwood. So you have now a wealth of attack in your team to at least to try to make something happen. And you know, even if Pogba don't fall back, you know Bruno getting that industry.
Yeah, I hear you. But now what you're talking about is when we regained control was just control. All we did was regain control without being penetrative enough to win the game. So all that would have done is give us enough control not to lose, right? Except for what Pogba did. But if we took off one of the defensive midfielders and bring on Cavani earlier, I think that would have given us a more threat. With that control and with Cavani coming into the team, that would have given us a more threat now to go on to win the game. So I don't think keeping on the two defensive midfielders or the change in formation that gave us back control was enough to win the game. And if we wanted to win the game, then we had to do something more. And the something more would have been to take off one of the defensive midfielders and bring on a striker, because now, let me say, it had a point where we regained back control, yes, as you rightly said. But what are we going to do with that control? Do we have the players high up the field to finish off moves with that added control? And we didn't have that. So to me, that is why now you would have taken out one of the defensive midfielders, bring on your Cavani, who would have given you that focal point. And then, you know, hopefully that would have given us the added penetration or the added focus to unlock Arsenal defense and to go ahead. And I think that is where we more or less we falter, or where Oli falter in terms of, yes, we are control and you're feeling comfortable with control, but you don't want to draw the game, you want to win. You know, so in terms of going for the win, he had to be more cavalier in terms of his substitution and his decision making, and I think it was too safe. It was too safe of of calls, you know what I mean, to want to win the game. And it's just reactive more or less after going behind.
I think going into this game, you always knew that the first priority was not to lose. You know, because I mean, when we saw how the game was going, we knew this had nil.
No, and I disagree, Reams. But here,
going
into the game not to lose. We had the position in the table. We had to be going into that game to win.
I hear what you're saying, but
to win.
And this is the formation he selected was an indicator of that. But what I'm telling you is, after you look at our first half, when you look at after the first half, how the team was playing, you realize that, hey, here what's going on. This not working. Let's set up in a way that the team are a little more familiar with, because this is what we've been using from since when till now. The players will be a little more comfortable in these roles. So let's see how it goes. Let's try to get back structure. Let's get back control of the game. You understand what I'm saying? And then let's take it from there. And that is what Oli was doing. After Arsenal, but you have to win. It has to have phases in the game, and then you transition from your phases. So my first phase in the second half, after I realized we lost complete control of that first half, I was saying, Oli, here what's going on. Let me go back to the 4-2-3-1. Let me regain some kind of control on the game, and then we'll see where that takes us. I doubt Oli wanted to go and draw the game. You understand what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, at the same time, let's take back control of the game. Let's try to let's do the simple things correct, and let's see where it takes us, and then we will make the necessary changes as it come along. So so that's what I'm saying. I don't think he needed to change anybody at halftime. All I'm saying is, I think when he did make the substitutions, he made the wrong substitutions. I would have gone all out attack at that point in time because we were one down. When Oli made the changes in the game, it was too much like for like, and you didn't show me that he was winning at that point in time when we were losing to try to really go for anything. But I mean, I take your point as well, Nico. I take your point as well. Richard saying sell Pogba for 2 bourbon. He getting discussed. Hey, watch me. Pogba had me so annoyed today earlier.
Yeah, and the substitution to me, I don't know why he took off Bruno and left Pogba on the field. I think that by itself was a poor decision. You know, because Bruno does still get that energy defensively and that discipline defensively. Pogba defensively is very indisciplined, and we saw it against Spurs and we've seen it again. You know, so to me, well, he definitely got it wrong there. I don't know why. I don't know if Bruno took an injury or a niggle, I don't know. But definitely Pogba was supposed to come off first before even thinking about taking off Bruno.
Yeah, and as an experienced player, Nico, playing football so long, you know, to go into that challenge, that was so foolish earlier. That was so watch me, that's hook worthy.
Yeah, but I see Pogba was tired even from before, and I don't know why you only couldn't see that. Pogba was tired. Pogba was struggling to get back. Place upon place, he was struggling to get back, and Oli didn't take him off, and I was surprised when I didn't see Pogba number up.
Simeon saying Pogba trying, boy, but you could see the man forcing himself to defend.
Exactly. You don't want to do it.
Junior saying, compared to years ago, rivalries real pat down now. Pogba, who should have been upset post game, instead skinning and grinning with, yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. Watch me. Bring back Keenan and Vieira, man. Junior saying, froze when Gabriel made our last ditch tackle late in the box late. Yeah. Watch me. 2 times.
That should have been a second yellow card. Because Greenwood was free. Greenwood was free to on the byline with across the
already, yeah?
Beat him already. Right? Get taken down. Mike Dean, let's say, all right, move on. That's Mike Dean always make some horrible decisions with.
Yeah, and that's not the only one too, you know, Nico. What the one with Matic in the box.
Yeah.
No ball. I see Callum Wilson. Yeah, penalty against Everton for somewhat a similar challenge, you know.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And Mike Dean sucking the whistle. Right? Simeon saying Greenwood deficiency showed, not a back to goal. I keep telling all that, you know. Greenwood
let anybody develop that.
Yeah, well, there's a saying, but people are arguing for the man to play centre forward, Nico. And all I say is he's not there yet. He's not there yet. We're seeing what and people appreciate Martial more now, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, but Greenwood for all the years have played centre forward in the ranks coming up the road. So I think it's just a matter of time. You know, and remember you can go left, right, you know what I mean, from the centre. So it's a matter of time, but let me don't be too harsh on Greenwood earlier.
No, we ain't being harsh, but what we're saying is we see in certain where he not because Nico people calling
We know that. We know that.
Neville and all talking out of time and talking about Greenwood will take Martial pick.
I think it's like future. Like
No,
future.
he's in a year, and he talked that last season. He's in a year.
Right.
So all I'm saying is I agree with you, allow Greenwood to develop. But don't put him on where he not at and where he not ready for yet. I'm telling you, Greenwood is very deadly, coming from the left, coming from the right. Let him build himself, let him understand the game, let him mature before we start to have expectations of him as a centre forward. Because the centre forward role have a lot of physical responsibilities as well. Richard saying that's why we need Mata for our league games to dictate the pace and bring it to our level. Mata was definitely missed today.
Exactly, I would agree with that, 100%.
Yeah.
If I saw Mata in the starting lineup today, I wouldn't have been surprised.
Yeah.
Because I know the kind of quality he'd have brought to the team. And I know that he has been at a different level. You know what I mean? In terms of vision on the ball, in terms of seeing pass, in terms of creativity, in terms of making runs, you know what I mean? He has brought a whole different dimension to the team that we lack today. We're still one-dimensional today.
Yeah. And Mata have an eye for that, eh? He have an eye to create and pick out passes and things. Siemens saying not a wide player either to shoot base. This team has holes in personnel. No doubt. And that is all your responsibility. Hey, Jason, welcome, man. Thanks for the comment. Jody saying, yes, Ram. Or yes, Reem. Same thing I was saying, watching the game, why Oli didn't take McTominay and Fred and bring Matic and... I don't know how McTominay last 90 minutes, you know? I don't know how McTominay last 90 minutes in that game today. Bellerin could act, but I can't fault Bellerin for that.
Yeah, Pogba was too clumsy. Pogba be more responsible than that.
And for a man with experience in the game, Pogba should have known better than that. I hear Pogba talking post-match, Nico, about this and that and Bellerin skillful and he should not. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that.
Just hold him up. Just hold on. That is all.
Jody saying Pogba is not fully fit, and even Pogba himself said he was a little winded. Yeah, and Oli did.
But Oli had to see that. But Oli had to see that. I show Bruno fitter. Why take off Bruno and leave for one? He feel like suicide.
And I mean, Bruno didn't have his best game today, but still. You know, Bruno gone fall back. You know, Bruno gone track back. Bruno gonna work. Bruno the type of player. Bruno the kind of player that will leave that field with blood on the ground. You understand what I'm saying? Simeon saying Greenwood was crossed at last option. Yeah, well, I mean, he's a kind of inside forward.
Mercenary, yeah, don't chop and pass. It's a shoot on sight. I can't give him wrong because anytime he shoot, most of the time he hit the target. Yeah. Even if the ball he got from Rashford today, you know what I mean? I was even surprised with the power and accuracy he got on that. Yeah.
That's the one where Leno saved his foot in the first half.
Yeah.
Hey Gregory, he's saying, how could you grab a man and clip his leg and still? That's what we're saying. I don't understand.
Mike Dean strikes again. Man's supposed to be off.
Saying Sean Pogba had to hold the hand up. Now listen, people say have an agenda against Luke Shaw, but anyway, that's all I have to see. Van de Beek showed Van de Beek should have started.
I don't know.
Here's my thing with Van de Beek, Nico. I don't know if you're gonna agree with me, I don't know if you're gonna disagree, but I still find Van de Beek he afraid the ball. He
But he had a good shot off today. And what I mean, in terms of the deflection, and I was very lucky with that. Well, yes, I mean, the ball struck the post with Willian against us. and then come off, I think with Leno face or chest or whatever it is, hit the post after Van de Beek shoot. So I think he was kind of unlucky there.
But that was basically it. You know,
Yeah.
I was expecting a little more from Van de Beek because, I mean, if you're coming that late in a game, I mean, I don't want to be too critical, but I want to see you taking a little more initiative now. So you guys coming on bouncing passes, not really doing nothing.
No, it's true.
Bounce pass not really impacting or affecting the game in any kind of real important way now. You know, and that's what when you come on at that point in time in the game, that's what we're looking for from you. You know, if you start the game, then a bounce pass to get in the groove and, you know, get the ball moving and things could work. But that point in time,
so maybe Mata might be a better sub.
Exactly. And there's the same thing I was saying in Nico, because that pressure from the media, they would have a mouthful if Oli went for Mata instead of Van de Beek. You know what I'm saying? And we know Mata would have been the better pass.
Player to come on.
Yeah. Jody's saying these guys making hard for me to put them in my fantasy. Boy.
Yeah,
what them fellas going to work on cool?
In the fantasy league, and then why? Well, you know, I plan to take him out. I think Bruno at some point will get into the team because I think if we really had a score, the goal will come to Bruno somehow. You know, so the fixtures ain't really kind to us, but
yeah, real cruel. Gary saying an Arsenal men say they dominate us. Biggest load of cap I've ever heard. Well, I mean, I don't know what you think, Nico, but for the first half, Gregory, I thought Arsenal did dominate us. You know, I think they had the better of the experiences. Yeah, they nullified anything that we tried. It looked for me, we couldn't string two passes properly. They restricted us and limited us to sideways passes within we backline and with defensive midfield. Anything that passed defensive midfield going forward, they clean up one time. So that first half was real frustrating to watch from a Man United perspective. And I could see why Arsenal men go be gassed now. You know, because they really did want us in the first half. In the second half, though, I thought they tried to manage the game a little bit better because they knew at some point that we playing at home, we needed to go for it. You know, so they decided to sit back and play for a counter, and well, we give them a goal. Simeon saying them back passes, man, kill us. Most of the issues from losing the ball in our half. Yeah. But I mean, I know now. I know. Joey saying, but from what I see over this game week, the referee was a bit inconsistent. Yeah, definitely.
Across the whole Premier League, I was hearing somebody. I didn't see it. I'm not sure which game it was, where they say the call was horrible. I think maybe I wonder is the Spurs. I think it's the Spurs Brighton game. I think they said that call was horrible. Some equalizer. I think the referees. And VAR. I don't know. This VAR in England is worse. The Champions League VAR way better. You know, like the Champions League VAR, like there's great attackers the benefit of the doubt now, but in England, the defenders are the benefit of the doubt, yes?
No, you mean whoever they feel to give the benefit of the doubt on that day?
That too. We got what Gabriel today? You tell me VAR and I say, hey, nah, boy, you know what I mean?
Two times.
It's a red card. Yeah. That should have been a red card. So VAR should definitely look at that.
Junior saying, who will you all start versus Everton? That's a good question, boy. That's a very good question. I will wait until
I think the back four pick itself, definitely. Back into the team, I'm not sure. I think we could rotate it around there and nobody would really question that. You know, and I want to see Marshall could come back for sure. So what I want to see Cavani, I don't know how his fitness is, but I can definitely see him getting a bit more game time. But you know, if it's for Greenwood or whatever it is, you know, I could definitely see Cavani getting a bit more game time.
They're saying they won the first half. We had the second half. Yeah, but I think Nico was saying that, you know, we had possession, but not much penetration now. So probably if we didn't concede, it may have come. Who knows? We had more shots, more possession, yeah. because it's more international standards with you. If I think this on the VAR issue, and he's saying Mike Dean is a clown. Everybody know that.
We do that own thing.
He always getting we games. Always. Every time I see the game and I hear it's Mike Dean.
Yeah, you know, so much changing decision when he gonna make.
It have talk now because it seems as though it have two groups in the fan base.
Right.
When we win a game, you have the Ollie inners right in the head. And then when we lose a game, you have the Ollie outers right in the head. So on social media, it is have the two hashtags trending, Ollie in.
Yeah.
Who says that P teacher, blah 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 blah. Who's Poch? Then from the time Ollie lose a game, Ollie out. I can't handle the sack him in the morning. Where's your real stand on Ollie?
Honestly, when we started this season, I wasn't seeing him lasting till Christmas, honestly. But I think the games against PSG and RB Leipzig would have showed, and even Newcastle at that point, even going behind and coming back from behind and winning so resoundingly, would have showed that there's still quality in there. I think the problem is he needs to find or to drive the players to bring that consistency to the game every game. To bring that energy and to bring that consistency every game. I think that is where his struggle is. I don't know if another manager would have been able to get that out of the players. I don't know if because maybe it's so easy to wind up players for the big games, especially like the Champions League games. That definitely you wouldn't have much motivation to really motivate players to get wind up for a Champions League game. However, for a league game, you might take things for granted, and Ollie may not be able to get our fire in them for league games. So if our criticism had to be that, the players is really be up for it for the European games. But at least so far this season, for the league games, I think we have struggled, especially at home. I think we coming out at home games thinking is a given. Maybe it's because of our post-COVID form at home. I think we was exceptional. So I think teams, or we feeling that here, we will destroy teams as before. But I don't know if Ollie now struggling to motivate the team to bring that energy and bring that quality as he did post-COVID. So I think if I have a criticism, it would be of Ollie really being able to motivate the team for the smaller games. If a better coach, if Poch could give that, then maybe that might be the deciding factor in terms of Ollie. I like you. I think you have done a great job. But the thing is that you're not being able to motivate the players to bring the A game every single game. And that is the only criticism I would have in terms of either bringing Poch or, making that switch now.
Yeah, because if you're, remember, I just always say the Premier League is your bread and butter. You understand? So, the team can only be motivated to win Champions League games because at the end of the day, you could win the Champions League and still get relegated from the Premiership, or finish 18th or 17th, and that will be a failure, utter failure on the domestic front. So right now, in terms of because the Champions League games, so intertwined with the domestic games in the roster, it kind of making our domestic form or it kind of making our form not look bad. But if you were to separate the two, our Premier League form is shocking right now. Shocking and unacceptable for a club of our stature. So thankfully we have Champions League to kind of save face right now, because I'm telling you, if we didn't have Champions League in the mix to kind of make things look a little good, Ollie neck would have been on the line. And that Everton game would have been the one that kind of make or break him. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely agree with what you're saying in terms of being able to motivate the players to play the smaller games. But it would seem that even in the league, he's struggling to motivate the team to play against the big teams, because Spurs, Chelsea, Arsenal, and out of those 3 games, we only get 1 point. You know? So I think Ollie have to, because very sooner or later, everything will kind of fall into perspective, and we'll realize that even though we're having a good run in the Champions League, we have to recognize that after the group phase is knockout, so one-off games and you're out of there. And then now, you're going to be looking at the Premier League and looking up the table and saying, well, hey, how are we going to do this now? And that's not a good place to be, because you realize that the mentalities in your dressing room is not the type to really say, well, hey, let me pick myself up and let me climb back up this table. I know the kind of mentalities you have, them fellas will get you fired. So, I mean, I'm just trying to look at it in perspective now, you know?
Yeah, right.
Junior saying, I know it's early, but who would you sell in January, and who would you like to have?
Phil Jones.
Phil Jones definitely going, because I mean, watch man, I don't know what he's still doing here. I don't think.
Sorry for Romero also.
Yeah, but I don't want to be reactive, you know, and say, well, Pogba had to go, or this one had to go. No, I'm not going to be that far. I think them fellas. Let me see. Let's see how it goes, right?
The core players, I don't think we should get rid of any. Are the core players?
Yeah. You don't think Daniel James could do it on a loan buy?
I think I have a place for him.
Considering
games, I think I have a place for him.
Considering Traore coming in January.
I still think Traore has some development to do.
Okay.
Yeah, because he not even in Atalanta squad. When I look at the Atalanta squad, he's not even in the squad. Most of the games.
Okay. All right. Gregory's saying we just need to fix our home form. How much games we play away so far? 2. That was against Brighton and against Newcastle.
Yeah.
All right, and well, them 2 games was a little shaky for large portions, so I ain't too sure just home form alone.
Newcastle game wasn't bad.
But that game could end up 0-0, and then we'd be talking different, eh? I mean 1-1. So Nico, I think we don't want to extend this loss conversation too long, you know. Thanks guys for the comments, thanks for the likes. But we want to wrap it up now. So Nico, any closing remarks?
Yeah, I just don't want to slip up in midweek, because I think after we beat PSG and we beat RB Leipzig, to go Istanbul and mock up, you know what I mean? I think that would be horrible, because the game that Istanbul played against PSG, it didn't look bad for large portions. It didn't look bad. They were a threat. So at least we're struggling in the league for now. I think at some point you'll pick up form. So, but let me go to Istanbul and get our 3 points and try to sort of build back the confidence after today's performance. You know, yes, we know Oli would make some changes. I think he more in a bit of a comfort zone to do that. You know, but still we shouldn't take Istanbul for granted. Let me go there, let me get the 3 points, and then we sort of build that confidence for the Everton game. So hopefully for the Everton game, we want a good performance, and we need the 3 points, you know. Even if we don't put a good performance, we need that 3 points against Everton to sort of move up that table, because it could get real murky down there and quickly, and we had a rise out and sort of challenge high up the table.
Yeah, I think my positive is that Anthony Martial would have served this final game of suspension today, so he's back in the fold from full now, you know, and I really hope that we don't lose any more players to injury. I know now it's kind of different, because they don't have, you know, before it would have been suspensions and injuries. Now we have suspensions, injuries, and COVID. You know, because we could have do with a little bit of tellers today.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and we didn't have that. So I guess now Oli would have his full complement to his disposal in the league now.
Let's come back into the fold soon?
This week.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think it's after the PSG game that he tested positive. So I think this week would end the 2 weeks. So he's supposed to come back with the team from this week. I don't think he'll be there for the Champions League, but I know for Everton he'll be in contention.
Okay.
You know, so I think it's important now to, as you say, to try to get the wins, to try to build back the confidence. And let's see how it goes, you know. We spoke highly about them on Wednesday to come and do this now. So let's hope we could pick it back up and get a run going now, because we know Ollie's a man. One thing I noticed
It's
was
tricky.
yeah, he like runs now. You know, so you
Yeah.
got a 10 game unbeaten run, and we go lose 2, then we might go on a next unbeaten run. So let's hope that the unbeaten run could start from Wednesday, you know?
Yeah.
All right, guys. So thanks again for joining in. We do know it wasn't the kind of review that we were really looking forward to, but kudos to Arsenal for doing what they needed to do. We should have done what we had to do, you know? So we'll see you again on Wednesday to review the Champions League game against Istanbul. What you call it, Nico?
Başakşehir.
Bakashian. Let's hope that we can really do our thing and we could come here and enjoy it, you know? So have a good night, everybody.
Good night.